So, guys, I want to introduce you to my sugar mama, like literally. Mandy is my sugar mama. Like, she's the best sugar mama, right?
Yes, I am.
What do you do for work?
I do a couple things, but I do sugaring hair removal as my trade. So I've been doing that for about 8 years now.
The best form of hair removal.
Yes.
The best.
Yes.
It doesn't get any better than
attest.
sugaring.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's literally...
Except maybe, permanent laser hair removal. But some people, it doesn't work well. But if you're going in, sugaring is the best.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then and you're part of a couple things that I want to mention as well, which is the nonprofit.
Yes. So I work for a nonprofit called Al Otro Lado, and they represent immigrants and migrants seeking asylum pro bono.
Damn.
Humanitarian aid,
Yeah.
all the things.
Oh my God. I want to tap a little into all the stories, but first and foremost, I want to know a little more about your background. I know you're from Florida. You guys, we don't have that much time when like I literally go to see her. We have like maybe 15, 20 minutes and we're like, right? When I come see you for my appointments, but I know you're from Florida. So tell me how you're from Florida and ended up in San Diego.
So I was born in Pensacola, Florida, which is super close to Alabama. My mom's house is 1 mile from the Lillian Bridge.
Oh my gosh.
And so I grew up there, super conservative area.
Yeah.
Very military heavy when I was growing up because the base was very active.
Right.
Got married to my first husband, moved all over the place, got divorced, met my second husband who was also in the military, moved to St. Louis, then moved here, had a child, and stayed.
Okay. Wow. So you were really close to Alabama. So
Yes.
when I think about Alabama, it's heavy South, right? And lots of segregation.
Yes, still.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I experienced too, living in Omaha, is that it was really sad that people would say, hey, if you want to tour the world, you start north and end up south. It was terrible. People would say you start in Africa and end up in South America. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And really, it was primarily the whites that lived on the west side of Omaha. And I actually ended up living there. I had no idea, but I was like the only Mexican on the block. So I could imagine that you probably saw a lot of shit out there, right?
You see a lot of shit out
everywhere
there in that respect. When you're growing up in it, I feel like you don't realize it as much because it's just all you know.
Yeah.
But I think what saved me was moving away.
Yeah.
And then going back for extended periods to visit.
Right.
I was like, wow, this is really obvious.
Right.
Why didn't I not see this before?
Right.
But I'd never been outside of it.
Yeah.
And now when I go back, it's very, very obvious that there is still intentional segregation.
Damn. Well, and that's like me growing up in San Diego and moving to the Midwest was very eye-opening because here I feel like everyone's one. Like we all eat the same carne asada burritos. We all eat the same rice and beans, right? Because we're all in San Diego. Everybody's got their favorite taco shop, but we're all like the same. And then when you move, like it's very noticeable. And I'm like, oh, wow, I never really knew that existed until I traveled across Colorado. It was also kind of very sketchy traveling across the country. So I could imagine all the things that you had seen. Anything particular that stands out to you? Maybe now looking back, maybe when you were younger, that you're like, oh, I didn't notice that.
I took a vacation and I went to the beach.
Uh-huh.
And, I obviously have a daughter and she is white. Mm-hmm. And we, there were all kinds of kids playing. And my daughter was the only one playing with children of color. Mm. And I was like, what is going on here?
Right.
And being at home, it is more acceptable to behave that way.
Right.
Here, it still exists, right?
Totally.
These things still exist in San Diego. We're all aware of it. We're all aware of Lakeside and the Santee and all those things, the stereotypes that people talk about with them. but it's less socially acceptable here. It still
1000%.
happens. It's just not as forward facing.
Yeah, it's not in your face.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is one of the things when I went back, I was like, wow, it's blatant.
Yeah. That's crazy. And so so your husband ended up getting stationed here in San Diego, and then he's retired now, right? And then was Stella already born, or did you have her here in San Diego?
No, I had her in Missouri.
Oh,
In Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri, or
No,
St. Louis?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
That was wild times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then you guys got stationed here and you got established here. Is this kind of where you started your sugaring business?
Yes.
Okay.
I had done hair before, but like hair.
Yeah.
Coloring and cutting.
Not like hair.
Not like hair. So, and then when I came out here, I started sugaring a few years after.
Yeah.
Sugaring is not very common outside of California.
Oh my God.
Especially even outside of San Diego.
Oh my God. When I left, I was like, there's nobody that sugared out there. No.
It's not a thing.
No.
Yeah.
No. And so I can totally see you doing hair.
I did.
I know. I would have loved to have been your client, because if I'm experiencing 15, 20 minutes with you, can you imagine like an hour?
We'd be in trouble.
Oh my gosh.
We'd be in jail somewhere.
Probably. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so you're here now. How old is Stella by then?
Stella turns 16 on February 17th.
Okay.
It's wild.
And how old was she when you moved to California?
Was 2.
Oh, so she's pretty much like a San Diegan.
Yeah, she doesn't know anything different.
Yeah. And I, first and foremost, like, you've done such an incredible job with her.
She's a
Thank you.
woman.
Oh,
She's really, I'm very, very fortunate.
I can literally cry. I mean, she knows I cry all the time, but I genuinely think it starts with parenthood, with, beliefs and all the things. And I think, like, I commend you for that, because it's I'm not a parent, but I can imagine how hard it is to be a parent, especially with these day and age, with everything that's happening in the world. But Stella has gone and volunteered with you, right?
Yes. Stella started going to help unhoused people with me when she was probably,
She's 16 now. I mean,
so she was like 9.
Yeah. She was 9. Really young.
And then when I did the border aid work, she was out there as well. So she's grown up helping other people and seeing other people through a lens of humanity,
right?
Understanding that they may have, illness or whatever has led them to the situation they're in, not to judge that.
Yeah.
And she's really a great human being. Like, she's a much better person than I am.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm serious.
No,
I'm serious. She checks me sometimes.
I bet she does.
She's like, you can't, no. And I'm like,
why not?
Come on. Their shirt is like tucked up in their bra. Why is that? Mommy, you can't talk about the way people dress. Okay.
Yeah.
She gets me.
And how does it feel like as a mom to be able to see her like volunteering, and I like get choked up thinking about it, like communicating with, these people that are essentially through the wall, right?
She did.
Yeah.
She did. We were out there one night and she was, we had people that needed to eat and we had people that needed medical care.
Yeah.
And neither one of us speak Spanish, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we are just like the whitest white people trying to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. And she was over there running that medical tent. She would, Mommy, so-and-so needs blah, blah, blah. And, I'm yelling back at her because it was just the two of us. And there were like 60 or 70 people that had come over.
Oh my gosh.
And she was killing it. And I was like, look at this human being.
Yeah.
Like, I helped to do that.
Yeah.
But that's just who she is, I think, too. Like, her father is a very, like, calm, decent human.
Yeah.
And so I think she kind of got the best of both worlds.
Well, it's that balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like also being in the military, he probably has like that structured, like, no? Okay. No. Hey, well, at least you're honest.
Wrong with that one. He's an engineer, so he's kind of like, not he's one of those people that's like ridiculously intelligent, doesn't have the best like social cues, and is just kind of okay with like whatever.
Okay.
I am so not that person.
No.
You know?
No.
But she doesn't get as rattled as easily as I do, and she is much more reasonable in her thought process.
Yeah.
But she has extreme empathy and understanding for people.
Right. So she has like a calmer temperament.
For sure.
But you're like part of your personality and also like wanting to help others.
Right.
Yeah.
And just understand.
Your values shine
through her,
Right.
1,000%.
But in a way that I feel like is almost more palatable for people.
Well, yeah, because she's calm.
Yeah.
People know not to fuck with you.
Because I'm like, it's like, doesn't even take me that long to spool up. I'm like ready to go all the time.
24/7.
And she is like, no, let's just take a minute.
Yeah. And let's evaluate.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm already like,
you're ready to go.
I'm in it.
Yeah. You're all in.
Yeah. I'm ready to like throw down.
Yeah. And one thing too that I want to kind of talk about too is you experience having cancer.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find out about having cancer?
I had back and shoulder pain.
Okay.
And I was in hair school at the time, and I went to hair school older. I was 30.
Okay.
And there was this big joke with me in hair school, like, I'm 30. Because I was the oldest one.
I
like,
know. They're so young, right?
Dude, there was a girl there that was 17.
Oh,
and
wow.
she was like on the phone, and she's like, Mom, there's this lady in my class that was like 30. And I'm like, oh my God. It was rough. I was like, bitch, please.
Yeah.
But I couldn't like figure out like what was going on, like why I had this pain. And I went to a doctor in Missouri, and they did x-rays. And when I went to get them, they kept like retaking them. And I was like, well, that's weird. And then I go back in, and they're like, oh, hey, by the way, you're like, there's no damage up here, like on your shoulder and your neck, but you have a 10-centimeter tumor.
Oh my gosh.
In your abdomen, and we don't know what it is.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, oh, well, okay. And my dad had just passed a little over a year before. He had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and had fought that since I was sophomore in high school.
Oh my gosh.
So like very like aware of cancer and how it impacts people and how it had impacted me and my mom. And
right.
So I was like, this sucks.
Oh my gosh.
So they did what they call a distal pancreectomy, where they took the tail of my pancreas, the tumor, and my spleen. And thankfully all the margins were clear, so I didn't have to have radiation or chemotherapy.
Thank God.
I was when I tell people how lucky I am, I don't think it registers.
Right.
Because on my medical records, it says pancreatic cancer. And so people look at me like, how are you still alive? Because people with adenocarcinoma of the pancreas, they don't live this long.
Right. Yeah.
And the fact that it was at the tail is much better than if it had been at the head of the pancreas.
Right.
Because then there's a surgical procedure called the Whipple procedure that they have to do. And it's better than before that came along, but it's also not great.
Yeah.
And then 10 months? It was like 10 months later, they found the same type of growth on my kidney that they had said was a cyst, but it was also the same type of growth. So I had a partial nephrectomy laparoscopically through my back.
And did you, while you're going through all this, did you feel like the need to advocate for yourself, or did you have like a medical team that was like, this is what we need to do? Because I feel like more times than not, when I hear stories, it's constantly people having to advocate for themselves.
So it was like the perfect storm for me. I was in St. Louis, and I will say that I don't love St. Louis for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But St. Louis has incredible medical schools and facilities.
Yeah.
And I was at Barnes Jewish, and they have a huge teaching facility, college. They're connected with WashU.
Wow.
So the doctors that I had were like pretty much the top in their field.
Yeah.
And my dad's doctor, since my dad had been with him for so long, he looked over everything that happened.
Wow.
And then there's my mother who had been advocating for my dad.
Right.
And I had also. So I had to advocate for myself, but not as much as I see other people having to do, which makes me sad.
Right.
And I think a lot of that is how insurance has impacted people and physicians.
Right.
Just the healthcare industry in general. But I was just really, really lucky in all aspects.
And when you got diagnosed with this, did you have Stella already?
No.
Okay.
So I didn't. And I wasn't like I didn't really care if I had children or not after that. My husband was like, I really want to try to have kids. And so I did genetic testing to see if what I had was like potentially genetically passable to her. And the test came back and said it wasn't.
Thank God, yeah.
So, I had her. I had a pretty easy pregnancy. The birth was not great. I had preeclampsia and gestational diabetes. And then,
man.
So that was, and I had a C-section and all the things. But I don't know if it's because I had gone through what I had gone through before or whatever, I made it,
Right.
It's just like when you're in it, it's like,
You just roll with it.
you're just doing it.
Yeah.
You have to.
Right. What's the other choice?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing about women, right? We just go through the walls and we don't, like, it is what it is. We just deal with whatever's going on in front of us and we just keep moving forward.
And that is the fight in us that I see so much in women, because even in like advocacy and activism spaces, it is 90% women who are doing the real work, the hard work, the work that really impacts people. It is women constantly leading the fight.
Yeah. Do you think it could be because maybe we're just more emotional and we we have a heart and we care about people, or?
I think it's because we have that maternal instinct, right? We want to take care of people. We want to see people okay.
Right.
So I think that's a lot of it.
Right. Yeah. And so, do you now have to go back for any checkups or anything? Have had any recent scares or anything?
I did go for scans for a while, and recently I had a kidney stone. I had some pain, and I went in, and they were like, "Oh, you have a kidney stone," and it's not leaving. It's in there, kind of hanging out and growing, but it's not trying to get out, so I'm not in pain. But they imaged and they said, "Oh, we don't really know what this is going on in your kidney. We want better imaging." So I always have to just be really proactive. If something doesn't feel right, I go in.
Yeah.
I am fortunate that I found a really good primary care doctor here that is on it.
Yeah.
And so, he even fusses at me if he's like, you didn't do this soon enough, or you didn't do that. I'm like, okay. But because I don't have a spleen, I do have to be really careful. Like if I run a fever, I have to go in.
Yeah.
Because there's a higher chance of becoming septic.
Gosh.
So.
Jeez.
But I mean, and it used to really bother me.
Yeah.
And I'm just want to let everyone know I'm also very heavily medicated for anxiety and depression, because that, and then the world we live in, and just all the things. And I finally found something that really works for me, so it doesn't bother me as much as it used to.
Between realizing that you had anxiety and depression, because I struggle with that too. How did you figure, not how did you figure out, but how long did it take for you to, figure out what worked for you? Because, there's a time period, right, with medication and everything. And sometimes that can be very discouraging if people are trying to explore what their options are. How long kind of estimated time did that take for you to figure it out?
I was on Zoloft for a really long time, and it worked. And then it just kind of stopped working.
Yeah.
And it took about 2 years for me to really get back on something that worked for me. And now I take Effexor.
Okay.
And that's, I still have issues. Also, I'm perimenopausal, and that's something not a lot of women talk about. And I think that's really got my like mood and stuff, like.
And what are some of
weird.
those premenopausal symptoms that you have been experiencing? Because I agree, it's something that nobody really talks about.
Like moodiness was a big one. And
Yeah.
I was like, is it me?
Yeah.
Is it perimenopause? I mean, it probably is me to some extent, because, you know, and like.
No,
yeah.
it's not you.
Yeah, it is. But it's like, you know, mood, and you notice, like, this is one thing that really was weird to me. And I can't believe I'm talking about this, but I'm gonna.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like my scalp was smelly.
Interesting.
Like it had a different odor. And now that I talk to my clients that are kind of creeping up to my age, they're like, I noticed I started getting body odor that I didn't have before. And I'm like, I know. Like, and it's like no one else could, you know, I'd be like, Stella, smell my scalp. Like, why do I have smelly scalp?
She's like,
and
Mom.
she's like, Mom, come on. And I'm like, no, like I can smell it.
Yeah.
And so, change in like energy levels was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, of course, your menstruation gets really bizarre. You have like extremely heavy flow.
Oh my God, I
just,
feel you on that.
You know, bleeding out. You think you're gonna, you know, hemorrhage to death.
Right.
That's a normal one too.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
It's crazy to think how much like we can bleed and we're still kicking.
I know.
You know?
That's why men should be really scared of us. They're not scared enough.
Or I agree with that. And they couldn't tolerate our pain either.
Right now.
No, there's no way.
No.
They have pain built into us.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then they have to go seek it out.
And then you're like superwoman if you have a kid. I feel like if you have a child, like there's nothing that can ever stop you.
I think, yeah, for the most part. Mm-hmm. You know, although, you know, I know some women and they have like super easy, you know, they have like a bunch of kids and they're like, oh, I love being pregnant. And, you know, then they pop out this child and they're like a size 2 again. And I'm like,
how?
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It's so unfair.
That's
right.
My girlfriend Marlena. She's done surrogacy and has 2 kids of her own, and she looks better every time she births. My sister Jeanette, when she had my niece, couldn't even tell she was pregnant. Like I'm like, how?
Dude, I kind of hate that.
Yeah, I'm
for
like,
the rest of us.
Yeah, I know. I feel like if I were to get pregnant, I would be like bigger, for sure. Like I would not. I cannot. I feel like some women just have that. They just bounce back.
They just do.
It's incredible. Our bodies.
And it's crazy also how it varies so much. I mean, that's why we're all so individual and different, and because it's, you know, and it is so much like hereditary disposition.
1000%. Genetics is crazy. And that's one thing that I'm currently experiencing right now. I have not been able to lose weight for years. Like, I'm talking like I went to the gym almost every day for 3 years, like all the things. And it turns out like recently I tested I was in the high category for anti-thyroid, or it was antibodies. So I'm like, holy shit, it's my fucking thyroid. Like this makes sense why nothing is working. Like doesn't matter the diet, the exercise, anything. I mean, I even went in and got a consultation for like a gastric sleeve because I'm like, I'm going into my 40s. Like I want to look like the best possible way ever. And turns out like if I get that, it's not gonna fix anything because it's possibly still my thyroid. So like this is all like literally in the trenches. Like I talked to my primary care doctor yesterday and she's like, we can try some therapy, replacement for your hormone. It's not going to harm you if you come off of it and kind of see if that really works. Because I've been on this journey of like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with my body. Like what is happening? Premenopause, like all the things, right? I'm almost 40. So it's like things are changing and evolving the way they're whatever supposed to. What if I decide to conceive one day or not, or all the things. And I think that genetics has so much to do with that. I mean, at some point I thought maybe I had obesity disease because my dad used to be really big. My dad's mom my grandmother, she was really big as well. So I'm still kind of like in that journey to kind of like figure all that stuff out. I'm trying to maybe get an option too of like going holistic maybe and going to like a thyroid specialist, and kind of see where that takes me. But I'm speaking about advocacy. I mean, luckily, same. I love my primary care doctor. She's just awesome. And, you know, we've been on this journey together for years. I've been going to her forever. And I think that it's so important to really advocate for yourself, but also know, like, I'm now understanding, like, I'm personally not the problem. Part of it is genetics.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I have never been like a traditionally thin person.
So I think it's important, you know, to advocate for ourselves as, you know, women, because we know what's going on in our body. And I think that I have probably the appropriate people on my side that are fighting for me and, you know, dealing with, do I go the, you know, natural side or Western medicine? I did try acupuncture though for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was interesting. Like it's so weird. I like needles in me for some reason. Like it just not messes with my psyche, but it definitely did something. Like I walked in there with like a slight headache. I walked out there without the slight headache. Mm-hmm. And I learned, because it's so funny. She's like, let me see your tongue. And I was like, I seen this on TikTok, because there's just like medicine man in LA, and the lady barely spoke any English. She's like, what? Yeah. I'm like, yeah. No, I'm like, but do your thing. And it was interesting. So I think that health is, you know, health is wealth, you know, and
it is.
And the genetic part is real. So, you know, if somebody's out there like listening to this, like, don't be discouraged, you know?
Well, and I think it's sad that we as a society and as women have been programmed to think that thin equals healthy.
Right.
And that it's so, you know, as someone who has struggled with my weight off and on my whole life, you know, it's like, oh, if I just lose some weight, like things will be better.
Right.
You know, and I have friends who are also in the same, you know.
Yeah.
And I wish that there was some way that we could like stop doing that to ourselves.
Right.
Like
beating ourselves up.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think too, we also like, we grew up in a different time where like 90s, you know, like everybody was skinny, like Mariah Carey, like everybody.
Well, and
that's
the jeans
like,
with the waist that was like this
yes,
big.
Yes.
Like if you were not thin, you were like overflowing out of your pants.
Right.
Mom jeans were not a thing.
Not a thing. No.
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 So yeah, you had to be thin, or you just.
And I think too, the other thing is that it's something that I don't think is discussed enough. I genuinely think that people get treated differently if they're skinnier.
They do.
Isn't that wild?
It is wild.
It's so sad. Like
it really is.
Because I know a lot of rude skinny people. And really nice fluffy women like myself, you know. It's so sad.
I think they get treated with more respect and more all the things. And it's like and I think people like listen to them.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I was just diagnosed with moderate sleep apnea.
Oh.
Because I've been so exhausted.
Girl, that machine, Darth Vader. I feel you.
And I think I was like, what is wrong with me, right?
Yeah.
You know, because I have all these things and they're doing blood. And my doctor, you know, he was like, let's just test you for this. And I was like, okay, but probably not going to come back with anything. And sure enough, like sleep apnea.
Yeah.
And I don't have the machine yet. I'm like ready for the machine.
Yeah.
I need it. I'm like, hook a leaf blower up to my face.
Yes.
Like, I don't care what it takes. I just need some rest.
You know, so I have the machine.
Okay.
And my experience, I even started using like the mouth tape.
Okay.
Because I would wake up with dry mouth.
Uh-huh.
Feeling really refreshed, right? Is crazy. But here's the thing though, like the way at least my insurance worked, they pulled the report and they require you to use it because they're financing most of it, like 5 hours. So if you can use a machine for 5 hours, I would say you still wake up feeling a million times better than not using it at all.
I am like, if someone told me like you have to strap this thing to your face all day, every day, I kid you not, I would do it because I feel that bad every day.
Right.
Like just, I mean, you know, when you come in, you're like, how are you? And 9 times out of 10, I am so tired.
Yeah.
Like, and also like I had lost a bunch of weight. Saying
Yes.
that, I was not eating healthy. I was like starving myself.
Well, that, and you're like, I'm like, what are you eating? What are you doing? And you're like, I eat my cup of noodles once a week. And that's it.
Yeah.
That was your treat.
But I was severely anemic.
Yeah.
And that's why I was craving weird stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I had like pica, which is like when you like chew ice all the time and
Yeah.
stuff. Like I was that anemic.
Interesting.
And it's because I was barely eating anything. Because once I started losing weight, I was like, oh, I really like this.
Yes,
and then
you're
I was like
tiny.
super thin. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I like this. I was super sick. I almost had to have a blood transfusion.
Dang.
And then I was like, I don't want to live this life.
No.
And last year at Christmas, I went home to my mom's and I was like,
I remember that.
And I ate, I ate.
Yeah.
I ate all the things.
You ate good.
And, and then I kind of like have fluffed up again.
But see, here's
But
the
I'm
thing.
too tired to.
You're exhausted.
I'm
And,
too tired to
and
do
that's the
anything.
thing. Like, I can be at a light, and this is one of the symptoms of sleep apnea. And you're just so tired. But if you close your eyes, like, you can pass out.
Yeah.
Which is like one of the top dangerous ways for people to get injured out there on the road is because they just fall asleep.
Yeah.
It's like constantly being exhausted. It would take me so long to get out of bed and to get my day going. And you're just so tired and you're irritable.
Yep.
So now we're like, okay, is it premenopause? Is it sleep apnea? Is it this? Like so much. And you're like, just help me.
Yeah.
Help me.
Yes.
Help me feel better.
Yes. So I'm excited for that machine to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have to tell me. And mine has like an app.
Okay.
And it'll score you, like how you slept, how many episodes that you had.
Okay.
Because that's the thing about
Apparently
sleep
I'm
apnea.
having like 26 an hour.
That's insane. Did you go to the hospital and do a sleep study?
They sent all the stuff to my house
Okay.
where you like put the stuff on you and
Yeah.
then the thing on your finger
Yes.
and then yeah.
Yeah, I had to go into the hospital and I slept in this like wannabe room, which was already super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I had like shit literally in my scalp and it was like a hot mess. And also I had mild sleep apnea. But I think the thing about mild is like the insurance companies don't want to risk it not giving you the machine. So it's like a good thing that you get it, but then what's the underlying cause? Like how do we fix it? Right?
It's like, insurance is such a scam. Like it is
yeah.
literally a money laundering scheme.
1000%.
Why do these companies that are for profit get to tell us what we need rather than our doctors?
Exactly.
Like, period.
Right.
It's wild
Yeah.
that this is the world that we're living in.
1000%.
Because insurance companies before the 70s were not allowed to be for profit.
Interesting. They're the biggest pimp in the industry.
They're the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and then we go thank God you like your primary care doctor and even for myself too, but I feel for those people that are out there struggling, trying to advocate for themselves and
they can't change because their insurance says this is who you go to or that is who you go to and or God forbid. I mean, the only reason that I have insurance is because I'm married.
right. TRICARE, right?
And I before I worked for the nonprofit because they do carry really great insurance, I was self-employed.
Yeah.
I didn't have insurance.
Right.
And so even though there was the Affordable Care Act,
Right.
I couldn't be denied insurance because of my prior medical history, but I would have gone into a risk pool and my insurance was like $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and
who can afford that?
and for some people that have kids, they're paying $1,000 a month, $1,500, $2,000. I mean, I've seen some of these. I mean, some of my clients are just like, it's the most expensive thing.
Well, and parents who have like very critically ill children. I have a client, her daughter had leukemia. The poor woman was going through a divorce. She sold everything she had, has gone into like debilitating debt because she couldn't work while her daughter was in treatment.
That's crazy.
I mean, we're just bankrupting people for existing and trying to
1000%.
save themselves from, dying or their children.
Right.
Like, what are we even doing?
And in the mix of being a wife, being a mom, the nonprofit, your business, how do you balance all of that?
I would say not well. other people would probably disagree because
Yeah.
I try not to crash out in front of other people. I have like 3 people that I feel comfortable like really crashing out with.
Right.
That's one of my best friends, and then my husband and my mom.
Yeah.
And I try not to crash out in front of other people, not only because I don't want people to see me like losing my shit, but also because I am very aware that other people are also going through a lot.
Right.
And I am very hesitant to burden or dump on others, which could be seen as a strength or a weakness, I guess, depending. But it's a lot, you know, when we were talking earlier about like you with a full cart of groceries, like on your phone, on the computer, like sometimes I got the kid in the car, I'm taking her to her harp lessons, you know, payroll is due for the nonprofit, and, you know, someone's trying to make an appointment. I'm sitting in the car on the computer and I'm just like, you know, trying to get it all done really quick, or I'm like, I have clients and then someone needs me at the nonprofit. So I'm like taking a call and then the call is on mute and the camera's off while I'm back and forth sugaring people. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to give myself like some sort of like stroke, because I mean, I had to go on blood pressure medicine. I don't know if that's because I gained weight or because of probably both.
Right.
You know.
Well, and I think that's the thing is trying to find that balance. But I think it's so common here in San Diego that we are just such on a go that it never really allows us to be present. It like robs us.
You hit it. Like,
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple things that contribute to that. And one of my theories is so weird, but so I'm from the South and I've lived in other places. I've lived in Seattle, Missouri, Japan. There are hardly any days here where the weather is bad. Mm-hmm. So you feel like you have to be out doing something all the time because it's great. Go outside, be in the weather.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you kind of feel guilty like bed rotting.
Right.
But when you're like, it's raining or it's super cold or whatever, it's like, that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to bed rot and like be cozy in your house and nest. We don't get that weather here. So I feel like we don't get as much of that.
Right. And so, and your perspective too is like, you know, it's true because when I lived in the Midwest, if it was 40 degrees, 50 degrees, people were out there wearing shorts and they're like, it's a beautiful day. Like you had to take advantage of it because you didn't know when the next storm was going to come, regardless if it's like December, January, what doesn't matter. You're going to go out there and enjoy it. And I think for me growing up here, everything's like Groundhog's Day. Like rinse and repeat literally every day. And just like you mentioned about the laptop, I'm trying to Christmas shop and it was kind of really sad that my boyfriend took a picture of me. Like we're not enjoying our time. I can't be present because I have to put out a fire, literally turn on my phone as a hotspot, pull out my laptop from my purse. Because if you know me, I always go, I mean, it's my phone and my laptop always with me 24/7. And I'm like, when he took it and he sent it to me and I was like, shit. Like, and the thing is that, yes, we have to hustle here, but I've had some really tough decisions or tough lessons that I've learned that people don't care. Like there's some people that care, right? There's some clients that are like, hey, I respect your time. You know, thank you for getting back to me, even though it's late or whatever. But most of them don't.
Most people, because I think some of it is because they're also in this cycle of chronic panic and hustle because, I mean, let's face it, San Diego is very expensive.
Yeah.
Like it is ridiculously expensive to live here.
Right.
And like, you know, for me, you know, I have a small business. I work a second job. My husband is retired Navy, has a second job. And like, we don't live in a fancy house. Both of our cars are like, you know, we have one car payment and it's not like crazy. And it's still like, we're not getting that ahead here.
We're still pushing.
Yeah. And so I feel like everyone else is in that struggle. And that is why our society is so, I feel like we're almost like individualist, right? It's like, I have to do this. Me.
Yeah.
And you can't see outside the box.
No.
And that's intentional.
Right.
You know, that's by design. You keep people like in their own zone, in their own space, panicking for their own family and necessities and survival, they're not going to be able to build community because they just don't have time.
No. And even like if I'm out walking, like the dogs or on the bay or wherever, I've experienced where in the Midwest, everybody says good morning. Everybody acknowledges, even the kids. It's like, good morning, ma'am. How are you, ma'am? You know, people give a shit. And here, like if I say good morning to 10 people, maybe 2 will say it back. And it's not, the worst thing is I don't even take it personal. I'm like, oh, they're just in their hustle and their grind. They got no time. It's like normal. But it's like, no, life shouldn't be that way. But it's how you said by design is to eat and breathe the hustle out here. It's tough and it's very cutthroat out here in California, I would say.
It is.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It's definitely not for the weak.
It's not for the weak.
No. And speaking about not the week, I want to talk about Ocho.
Oh, yeah. stink.
Tell us about Ocho, how he came into your life and everything, and who he is, because they don't know who Ocho is.
Okay. So Ocho is my rescue pit bull. He is just such, I don't know, like he is my little soul partner. I was talking about humanitarian aid, and I was out at the border for 1.5 years providing food, water, medical supplies to folks that were coming through the desert after Title 42 lifted. Because I believe that no one deserves to die seeking safety.
Exactly.
Whatever happens after that, I do my best to help, but I can't control any of that. But I could control some of this.
Exactly.
And we had this station that was called Whiskey 8. It's what Border Patrol called this area. And one day, here comes this crop-eared pit bull with this massive tumor hanging off his backside, just wiggling. And everybody was like, oh, oh my God, he's a pit bull and his crop ears must be mean. He is the sweetest thing. He was so thin, he could fit in between the border wall.
Oh my gosh.
And go in and back out.
Wow.
And I have another dog, Spotty. And Spotty is, he's dramatic.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I can take him home. Like, he's kind of mean. I don't know how this is going to work. And Ocho ended up, like, he would nest in, like, all of the blankets, like the blankets that we had used, he didn't care. He'd go nest in them, and he was just so cute. And he, I took him home. I picked him up, and I was going to try to find someone to foster him. Yeah. And it just didn't work out that way. And now he is part of our family, and I take him to work with me, and he's had 5 surgeries. He's had
the most expensive dog.
He really, he's had half a mouth of teeth removed, and he had tumor in his ear removed and the one off the back, and he was intact, so we had to have that fixed. And he had ACL surgery, as you know. And he grows like these cancerous but non-life-threatening tumors.
That's what happens with pitties.
On his penis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, sir.
Yeah.
But they say it's like a sun
exposing.
They say it's like a sun thing with pitties. But it's so funny because the vet office we go to is amazing.
Yes, they are.
They Spring
really
Valley
are.
Animal
Spring Valley
Hospital.
Oh my gosh. By the way, I only got in because I mentioned Ocho.
I know they love him there.
And you too. I'm like, oh, my friend Ocho's mom. They're like, oh, we have an availability next week. I'm like, sign me up.
They're great.
They are. They're really
Dr.
amazing.
Simpson and
oh my gosh, the crew's amazing.
They're great. And they called me to tell me that what he had was cancer, but it's not a bad type of cancer. So I had this I told the poor vet that called me, like, so I had this type of cancer and it wasn't, and I grow tumors too, and I generally have like stomach issues, and Ocho was pooping everywhere.
Yeah.
And so he's really like my dog. And the poor vet was probably like, what the hell?
What did I get myself into?
But yeah, he's like me in dog form.
He really is.
He really is.
And how did you come up with the name Ocho?
Everyone at the aid station named him because it was Whiskey 8.
Oh,
so
Ocho, because he's a Mexican dog.
Yeah.
Oh my
he does
God,
not
I
like
love
peanut
that.
butter. And I was told, like, you know, that's kind of an American thing, and you know, all the dogs
my
here are like
God.
on the peanut butter, and Ocho's like, well, that
No,
shit.
he's like, I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, he's definitely is like your spirit animal, I feel like, because he's a shit show. Like,
He is.
He literally is. Like, he's, I think, exactly probably what you needed with everything that's going on in your life, your businesses, being a mom, being a wife, and everything. I feel like there's something about it, when you have an animal connection, they just calm you. And what gets me is, like, even like for my dog, he's a gentle giant. He'll just come and put his little face, like, literally on my lap, and that's it. Like, literally. And I feel like Ocho does that for your heart. Like, he snuggles with you and all the things. And Spotty's great.
But he's Ben's dog.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
He sleeps with Ben.
Yeah.
He lays with Ben on the couch. Like, that is Ben's dog.
Yeah.
And Ocho is my dog.
Yeah.
You know, and Ocho is very set in his routine. He goes out to the bathroom at night. He comes in. He comes up the stairs. He humps on his stool up to my bed, and he's not nighttime.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, he's my dog.
And Stella, she's good with both, or?
Yeah, she is. She's always like, he's the favorite. Ocho's the favorite child. And I'm like, well, you're not wrong. But you know, and she's always, you're showing favoritism to Ocho.
Aww.
Poor Spotty. And
she's so, like, she wants everybody to feel good.
And Spotty is not neglected.
No.
At all.
No, he's
but,
spoiled.
You know, she's always giving me a hard time.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they're both, I mean, they have a human-sized dog bed. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I'm sure they'd have their own bedroom if it was possible,
comfortable.
right?
No, because I don't want them to go in there away from me.
That's true.
Yeah.
I do miss that. I do miss sleeping with my dog.
Yeah.
Now he sleeps with our other dog. They sleep together butt to butt.
Yeah, no, Ocho and Spotty will never be those people. Spotty will not have it.
No.
No, he tolerates Ocho. That's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you're like, mutual.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my gosh, so much good stuff. And I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing your story. And this is why I'm doing this, is to share the awareness and, you know, for people to advocate for themselves. And I am so grateful to have you in my life, because every time I see you, it's like always a hoot. We're like, like talking, chatting, and all that. But you have such an incredible heart for everything that you do for the community. And I definitely want to shout you out for that, because our world's really shitty.
It's bad.
And, you know, I just want to thank you for that, because you're just incredible, right?
Oh, you guys, stop. I mean, I love you guys so much, you know, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to come and share with you, because being vulnerable and sharing, you know, we're all just trying to be safe, healthy, and happy.
Right.
And we have got to stop othering each other.
Yeah. And is there a way to, like, people to donate to the nonprofit or anything? Or
Sure, yeah, they can go. They can go on Instagram. It's probably the easiest way, or online to the website. It's Al Otro Lado.
Al Otro Lado. Okay.
ALOTROLADO.
Okay.
It's a nonprofit.
Yeah.
It's a great organization that does a lot of good for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And you know, even if you can't do that, like, just try to treat people that don't have the privilege you have, like, with dignity and respect. You know, if you see someone out there and they're cold or hungry, give them some food, give them a blanket. Like, you don't have to do everything, but just do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Just do something.
Yeah. And your Instagram for your business?
The Bear Brazilian.
There you go.
I'm all looking at you.
We're looking at it like,
is
what
that
is
what it is now? I'm not
What
sure.
are you creating for this upcoming months? What are you creating?
Oh, yes.
Oh, training.
Do share.
So I'm going to start doing training for sugaring.
Okay.
I feel like the industry really lacks good quality training. It's like, oh, just come take a couple classes and then figure it out.
No.
You don't need to be out there figuring it out on someone's body.
Right.
Especially, like, private, delicate, sensitive areas of people's bodies.
Right.
We, as a, what am I?
Esthetician?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Need to be providing better and demanding better
Right.
for our trade,
Right.
our profession.
Right.
And telling people fake it till you make it is some, that's some real messed up shit.
Right.
So I want to give people the opportunity to have like a low barrier entry to see if it's something they would even like to do.
Right.
And then after that, give them like in-depth hands-on training, because you can read theory all day long.
Right.
It's the actual act of doing it
Right.
that you need to learn.
Right. And every hair strand is different. Every body part's different and everything. Yeah.
And so that's what I'm going to be moving into at the beginning of the year.
Okay. Like first quarter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people can take a look at that.
From the best of the best.
Literally.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Yes.
There's some really good sugarists out there. I learned from one of the best, and she is no longer with us. And so it's just tattooed on one of these sides. But she, Emily inspired me to keep going. So, we just going to push forward and see if I can help some other people like cultivate that craft,
Right.
and be successful in it.
Yeah.
And take it, to other areas where there's not sugaring.
Right. Totally. Different states.
Seriously.
Midwest.
Seriously.
I'm just saying.
People out there getting waxed and burnt and,
Those are shit show.
hot lava.
And you get home and it's still a hot mess.
Seriously.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's like, why did you leave this whole area of hair?
Yeah.
And it's just, people just not being comfortable with what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I
sweetheart.
love
I love you so much.
I love you.
I love you both so much.
Thanks for tuning in to How Did You Find Out? Like and subscribe and share, and we'll catch you next time.